We all love superheroes, don't we? We love seeing them smashing powerful 1,000-year-old villains. But sometimes, the villains are the ones who inspire us and teach us valuable lessons with their distinctive ideologies. Not always though. I mean, what can you learn from Frieza except being a freaking racist? On this list, we will take a look at some of the best villains the anime community has witnessed throughout the years. Let's dive right into it. Boros. First up on this list, we have Boros from One Punch Man, an extraterrestrial being with immense power and authority. Boros is considered one of the strongest characters in the OPM verse. Just like Saitama, Boros faced the problem of not finding a worthy opponent, but as he stepped foot on Earth, he realized that his wait is now finally over. Even though he lost the battle against Saitama, the fact that the bald hero recognized him as a worthy foe proves how much of a threat Boros really was. Their battle was truly legendary. Mahito. As much as we all hate Mahito, we can't just deny that he's one of the greatest villains we've witnessed in recent years. You know there are villains who have some positive side to their characters, like Vegeta and the androids, but this man is a menace. He is pure evil. He doesn't care what happens to the people around him. He's just there to cause destruction. Even though his curse technique is kinda gross, we can't deny that he is incredibly strong. Takasugi. We all have witnessed villains turned into heroes, but Takasugi is different. He underwent an entirely different path from his close friend Gintoki following the Amanto invasion. Being an exceptional swordsman, Takasugi formulated his own extremist organization, the Joy Faction. Despite his evil nature, Takasugi is respected by the people around him. His charismatic nature played a huge role in his success as a leader. Talking about his strength, Takasugi is like a one-man army. He can take on entire platoons alone and defeat them effortlessly. Suzuki Toichiro. Leader and founder of an organization comprising powerful espers, Suzuki Toichiro is one of the strongest characters in Mob Psycho. With world domination being his ultimate goal, Suzuki stored up psychic energy for decades and finally unleashed it when it was time for him to take over the world. If not for Mob, Suzuki would have been unstoppable. Well, he was unstoppable even against Mob until he blew himself up after unleashing too much energy. Besides his overwhelming power, Suzuki was a cunning individual. His obsessive nature and ideology played a significant role in nurturing Mob's character even more. All for One. How can you not include this character on this list? My Hero Academia is not known for its villain cast. It doesn't matter how strong the villain is, the heroes always manage to beat them, and this is a huge turnoff for me. However, there's one guy in the MHA verse who hasn't disappointed me in the slightest, and that is All for One. Everything that happens in this universe is courtesy of this guy. Possessing the ultimate quirk, All for One is arguably the strongest character in the series, and yeah, just include the plot armor. Unlike other villains in this series, this guy is actually intelligent and uses his brain. Eren Yeager. Some of y'all might be surprised to see this guy on this list. I mean, it is kind of controversial. Is he the protagonist or the antagonist? I guess only Isayama can answer this question. From an innocent boy who wanted to protect his family and take revenge for his mother's death, to a literal mass murderer who wants to obliterate the entire humanity. Eren's personality sure took a drastic turn. We still have to see what will happen to him in the end, but I guess most of us already know the ending. All hail Isayama! Frieza. To call Frieza evil would be an understatement in my opinion. This guy is above evil. Being Goku's biggest nemesis and the guy who destroyed his parent planet, Frieza's ruthlessness knows no bounds. He will go to any lengths to achieve his goals, whether it be manipulating characters like Broly or even training. One thing that makes his character even more interesting is the fact that he constantly mocks his opponents and is extremely proud. Muzan Kibutsuji. Michael Jackson, Muzan Kibutsuji is the next villain to feature on this list. Muzan is arguably the strongest character alive in the DS verse. Being the original demon, Muzan's blood has the ability to turn any human into demon and control them. Even without his underlings, he's strong enough to absolutely obliterate the Demon Slayer Corps single-handedly. He's a ruthless individual who has no regard for the lives of others. For him, everyone is a stepping stone, including humans and demons. He has even killed his own underlings to impose his superiority. Shogo Makishima. Not many people have watched this masterpiece, which makes me sad. Psycho-Pass has some of the most unique characters I've ever seen, and Shogo is one of them. His manipulative and conniving nature makes him such a fascinating villain. With his skills, he has managed to persuade so many people and led them to their graves. The thing that makes him such a fascinating villain is that he doesn't have any empathy towards others. He's as cold-hearted as one can get. He doesn't care who stands in his way. He will dispose of them without any hesitation. Envy. One of the most hated characters in the entire anime. We all hate this character, and there are plenty of reasons for that. Just as his name suggests, envy means jealousy. This homunculus is jealous of the people around him to the extent that he feels no remorse for hurting them. Envy possesses the unique ability to shapeshift, making him an extremely dangerous villain to deal with. Now we won't talk about what he did in the anime, but I can't just forgive him for that. Nagato Uzumaki, aka Pain, is perhaps the most influential anime villain of all time. Naruto's journey was hindered by multiple villains, but the one antagonist that influenced him the most was none other than Pain. His ideology of empathy through shared pain was completely opposite of what Naruto and the other shinobi used to believe. He believed that people cannot truly understand each other unless they go through similar pain, and for this reason, he wanted to wreak havoc on entire humanity. Serving as the leader of Akatsuki, Nagato's own body was too weak to handle the Rinnegan, so he used other bodies to battle. Being a student of Jiraiya, he learned a lot from him, which made him what he was. Light Yagami. Another controversial addition to this list, Light's journey is quite similar to Eren. From being a righteous guy who wanted to rid the world from criminals to a ruthless murderer who would kill anyone who stands in his way, Light's thinking and understanding of this world changed drastically. There's not a single anime fan who hasn't watched this masterpiece, and for some people, it was the show that got them into the anime world, and I'm sure this list is incomplete without him. Johann Liebert. Perhaps the most terrifying and fascinating anime villain of all time. Johann Liebert, unlike other villains, does not possess any supernatural abilities. He uses his brain and perpetual charisma to perform deeds that even villains with superpowers can think of doing. If I had to describe him using one word, I'd say he is a menace. This man terrified an entire freaking city and didn't feel bad about it at all. His heartless and ruthless nature makes him even more terrifying. Aizen Sosuke, the man behind everything that happens in Bleach. You watching this video is also according to his plan. Okay. Aizen is perhaps the most popular anime villain of all time. His transition from being a captain to a gruesome killer, Aizen sure made it a long way. Well, all of that was his plan, so we can't say he was even nice at one point. We all know that villains can be really dumb at times, and because of that, they lose battles. But the word dumb doesn't even exist in Aizen's dictionary. His intelligence has allowed him to beat opponents without even trying. In the end, I would like to mention many other villains that were this close to making the list, but they didn't. These villains include Doflamingo from One Piece, Vicious from Cowboy Bebop, and Meruem from Hunter x Hunter. I know some of y'all might say that these villains are better than some I've added to this list, but hey, they are not ranked or anything, so we can add them in the next part.